Hello friends, I want to share some Saturday reflections with you. I'm in the Stark, Lake Butler area for a few days, and a lot of precious memories have flooded my heart and mind as I've come to visit my mother and family for a short few days. And I'll never forget the wonderful blessings that God gave me and my family. Just to make a long story short, back in 1995, my dad and I rode down State Route 100 many times on our way to Brooker from Jacksonville, Florida. I lived in Jacksonville, and we would ride by Pine Level Baptist Church here in Stark, Florida many times, and I'll never forget God burdened my heart for this church. I had never visited the church, never been to it, didn't know the pastor. And I remember thinking to myself, I wonder what it would be like to pastor this church. And then I prayed a prayer that I never prayed before, and I never have prayed since. I said, Lord, I sure would love to pastor this church. I pray that you would let me pastor it. Well, it was 7 years later, God called me to this church. We saw a lot of miracles take place. Dozens and dozens of people all over this area got saved and baptized and joined the church. And I'm just so thankful for God allowing me the privilege to pastor this church. This church was like the Philippian church to the Apostle Paul. It brought great joy to the Apostle Paul whenever he would remember them. And this church brings great precious memories to me, and it fills my heart with joy. Before I found out about this church in 1995, God closed the door in Washington State. Barbara and I and our two little girls left Washington State. God closed the door there. Financial reasons, we were not able to stay. And God gave me Psalm 37, verse 1. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. The verses that he gave me are in verse 3, 4, and 5. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. From 1995 to 2002, I had the privilege of working side by side with my precious dad, who, by the way, joined the church here while I was pastor. What a joy and privilege to pastor your father and your mother and your brother. Now, Daddy is with the Lord now, and his body's been laid to rest not too far from here in Lake Butler. I was there earlier today and brought a message which I posted earlier on Facebook. I hope that you'll take the time to listen to it and share it. Pray that sinners will come to know the Lord and believers will be edified and strengthened. Pine Level is a historic church. In fact, it was one of J. Frank Norris's favorite places to come and preach. He was dear friends with the longtime pastor who was affectionately known as Daddy Hall. William Hall became pastor of this church when he was in his 50s and pastored for over 30 years and had a tremendous impact on this community, and still his presence in his ministry is still felt today. J. Frank Norris said there was not another people who could sing Amazing Grace like the congregation of Pine Level Baptist Church. And another fact that needs to be brought out is Pine Level had one of the first bus ministries in our country for many, many years, and it continues to this day under Mike and Sandy Starling. I had the joy of working side by side with this precious couple, and many precious souls will be in heaven because of their faithfulness in reaching many boys and girls, moms and dads, with the gospel of Jesus Christ through the bus ministry. Well, I'm not going to get into a sermon, but I want to encourage you, my friends. You may be in a period of transition. You're a God-called preacher. And right now, during these difficult days, there Churches aren't looking for pastors right now, so to speak, with this COVID-19 virus pandemic. But keep the faith, keep praying, and claim those verses in Psalm 37, verses 3, 4, and 5. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He'll put the desires, the good, godly desires in your heart, and you pray, and you seek His face, and God will come through for you. God bless you, and God bless Pine Level Baptist Church and Pastor Mark Ogle as they seek to carry out the Great Commission. God bless you, folks. Love you.